Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are all well. And for those of you flying alongside me, you'll notice your weather is probably very different from mine. I have no idea what's happening with live weather. Apparently it is working. I do have clouds in the distance which do disappear when you set it to clear skies, so there is something there. I haven't got the mist. There should be low visibility and a little bit of mist around, but never mind. I've also, I don't know if you can tell, we've also got a new microphone working today. I don't know if that's helping with things or not. So if that does sound distorted or anything like that, then let me know, because I will need to fine tweak that, as it is new. So, good afternoon to everybody in the chat room. Good afternoon, HD. Good afternoon to all of the Easyjetsimpilot channel members as well. How many people we got flying with us today? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see 5, I think. So that's quite nice. So that's good. Nick, have you got the same sort of weather? Ah dear. Oh well, never mind. Hopefully we should get some cloudier skies as we fly over, but we shall wait and see. Okay, so before we go any further on, let's have a little look at the actual METAR. What will be interesting is when I jump in, I might just press the B button and see if it can automatically detect the QNH, as the actual METAR here at the moment should be as follows here in the chat. There you go. So, as you can see, it does actually say becoming ceiling and visibility okay. Maybe Microsoft is well ahead of the curve and it's just got rid of our clouds. But as you can see, visibility should be about 4.5 kilometers with mist and overcast at 400 feet. But becoming clear. So, there you are. Let me drop in the flight plan for today as well. No, HD, you're quite right. That is not overcast at 400 feet. Far from it. Okay. I know some of you that are flying with me do actually have overcast at 400 feet and have shown some very realistic looking pictures on the Discord this morning, so who knows what's going on there. Lewis, so that means that the temperature is +3 and the dew point is +2. Normally when the dew point and the air temperature are together, that's when you start to get mist. It's the point at which the water in the atmosphere starts to condense. Top Gun, so it sounds alright but still a bit quiet. Well, I can turn that up, I just don't want to risk anything getting distorted. So in fact, do you know what, I can probably just move the microphone a little bit. As I say, it is a new headset, so is that any better for you? So, there we go. Right, well, let's start setting up. Regardless of what the weather is showing, once again, we have got this beautiful freeware scenery from Chopin Airport, Warsaw. And we're also arriving at another beautiful handcrafted freeware modded airport. All of these available from flightsim.to if you want to check that out. Right, so let's get in. And one of the things I love about this, I love the fact that we've got passengers waiting to actually board. All these businessmen, they're the only people allowed to fly at the moment. And they're not stationary either. I don't know if you can see them, but they are actually moving. How great is that? So that's really nice. We are on VATSIM today as well. So see if we've got any air traffic control around. I don't think we have actually. There's no air traffic control at the moment. Never mind. We may get some as we continue to fly. And of course we know what normally happens as we're arriving at our destination. Air traffic control comes online and changes everything. Hopefully shouldn't change too much though. I don't fancy the approach other than the one we've got planned today. Estimated departure will... Oh, when we're ready. When we're ready and set up. There is an estimated departure on the OFP, which I think is something like 1 o'clock, but that's not going to happen, as we had a little bit of an issue trying to get this real world weather to work, but it didn't. Right, so let's turn on the batteries. Also notice now as well, look at the battery voltage, that has now changed to 28. It was a lot lower before, I think it was 24.4, which with those it should actually have been charged before use, but that's now changed as well, so that's good. Let's get the power, shall we?
Okishi ground Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra, could you please send a ground power unit?
Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra, ground power unit is on the road.
Okay, so there's a ground power unit, so that's fine. HD, I've reset it 2 times and it's still coming up with clear weather, so I'm afraid I'm just going to have to live with it today. There'll be something wrong with the servers. I don't know which server I'm on. I think I'm on the West Europe, so I don't know if that makes a difference. Right, so there's the ground power unit. Should we get some baggage and some catering as well? We want to make sure that you've got snacks and drinks throughout this flight this afternoon. And don't forget the catering.
Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra, could you please send the catering truck?
Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra, the catering truck is on the road.
There we go. So doors are all open. We'll start letting some passengers on board as well in a moment. So let's start getting things set up. We'll get our fuel loaded in as well. Let's get the nav lights on. Let them know that we're down here. No smoking. And the emergency exit signs. Let's just get the refueling complete, then we'll get on the APU, turn on those seatbelt signs, and let's start letting our passengers on board as well, shall we? So, self-loading cargo, do your thing. Let's start letting you guys all on board.
Cabin crew, we can open the doors now and start letting them on board. Thanks very much.
There we go. So,
Okay.
doors are open. She was a little bit late to tell us what was happening. Why is the McDo not turned on? Ah, hang on. There we go. I'd not connected ground power. There we go. Ooh, minor panic. William Blanton, you're boarding first class. Good luck with that. There's only cattle class available at Easyjet. Okay, let's try and get everything in from SimBrief then while our passengers are now starting to arrive on board. Over to the ATSU, AOC menu, and init press. Let's pull that in. 2 hours 37 minutes, so quite a long flight this afternoon. That'll take us right up until tea time. That'll be nice. Hope we get there before 5 PM, otherwise the dog will eat my tea. Alright, performance, weight and balance. Let's check these against the OFP that I've just sent you guys. Block fuel 7395. Let's get that loaded in. And 160 passengers, 160 of you today, with a payload of 16640. Get that loaded in as well. And our zero fuel weight 57.6. That matches up nicely. Okay, so with all those weights popped in, let's get the passenger signs turned on, seat belts, fuel pumps. And just before we start the APU, let's do our fire test. We've had the 3 clicks. Fire engine 1. Fire test engine 2. And the APU. Okay, so let's get that APU started. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So the APU is now running. Let's come down and set this up. This is going to be interesting. What I'm going to do, I'm going to press B on the keyboard in a minute and see what QNH it gives me. So here we go. 1028. Well, that's just weird, isn't it? 1028 is the actual QNH according to the live meta. So we are in real live weather, it's just not showing it accurately. HD, yeah, I need a new reg. It's an old Lufthansa, I think. Mr. Pex, what happens if air traffic control gives you another runway other than that in the flight plan? Well, then unfortunately you have to go into the McDo and change it. We don't change the flight plan, you just change the route in the flight plan down here. Okay, so let's just get that turned up, and anti-skid is on. Check none of my children were messing around with the thrust levers. They haven't, so that's fine. That's still not right. Shouldn't turn that off standby when selecting that. And we'll just tune over to Unicom frequency 122.0. There we go. Still checking that no air traffic control is online. No, it's not. That's fine. Okay, so up to the glare shield then. Let's just turn this up. And our climb altitude today is 6,000 feet. Flight directors 1 and 2 coming on. Barrow reference is already set and cross-checked, as we did that automatically, just to see if that live weather was being pulled in properly. I'm going to turn down, or rather turn off, the first officer's displays like we normally do. Let's just turn up the brightness on the ECAMs as well. IRS alignment in 4 minutes. So then, let's have a look and see aircraft status. The update that they brought out yesterday, I was wondering if they would have also updated the ARAC cycle, but no, they haven't. They still using one that's about a week old now, so nothing we can do about that. Alright, let's come on to our init A page. So, init request, let's pull this in, hope the data link works. There we go. I'm going to change that to Echo Juliet Uniform 3-4 Alpha Mike. There we go. Let's put the alternate in as well. So our alternate today is Athens. Lima Golf Alpha Victor. There we go. Cost index of 8 and cruise level 360, and it's got minus 60 degrees on the flight plan, so let's key that in. Alright, so we can we would check our Adair's position as well. I don't think our IRS is working just yet. How long we got? 3 minutes. 3 minutes. So still aligning, as you can see there. Not turned to 3 nav greens just yet. Let's have a look at the flight plan. So we're departing today at runway 15, and it is the Avena 5 Delta. There it is. Not had to search hard for that one today. So the Avena 5 Delta, insert that. There's all the waypoints populated for us, and then at the other end it is the runway 27 arrival. The Rnav, not the RNP, for those of you in the Discord. It is, yeah, old school Rnav. The Zavis 1 Alpha. Not that old school, of course. Still uses GPS. There, that one is right at the bottom. Now, I just need to double check the charts. Are we going via Bazas or Gonzo? So, double check those. And that, I believe, shall be the initial approach fix is via Gonzo for us today. Insert. There we go. Alright, so let's just do a gross check. And we've got a distance of 1,110 on the flight plan and 1,105. Only 5 miles difference. That's probably one of the closest we've seen. I think I've only seen it once, maybe twice, seen it actually show exactly the same. So HD, do you always get them exactly the same, or is 5 or 10 miles allowed? Certainly 5 miles here in the sim I think is pretty good. Rnav page, the only thing I'm going to look at putting in there in case we had to return to Warsaw is I would look at perhaps popping in the ILS for
Warsaw traffic, Pollet 158,
oops.
pushing back gate 15 Lima with tail facing northwest.
I would look at popping in the ILS frequency for runway 11 just in case we had to return and we had an issue, and then it's already keyed in 109.9. There we go. So there's our Rnav page sorted, and I'm just going to go back and check. There we go, 3 nav green. Now that's finished aligning. Let's go and have a look at our init B page. So our zero fuel weight is 57.6, and we'll use the standard 30% center of gravity, zero fuel, and we've got a slight tailwind today of 11. Tailwind of 11. So our operational flight plan tells us to expect about 7.4 tons of fuel. The aircraft, when we've plonked all that in, tells us 7.6. Now, as we have got only 7.3 there at the moment, for the simulator we could actually leave it just because it doesn't burn fuel accurately. So I might actually leave that, given the amount of fuel that it doesn't burn. We may end up with an almost accurate arrival fuel when we get there, so I'm happy to do that. What I will do, however, just before I confirm that, is just check the weather at our arrival in Crete, see what we can expect. Does look like it could become gusty this afternoon, so do you know what, I am going to take some more. Just in case we have to do a go around, have another go, and then maybe divert. So let's go with, do you know what, I'm going to be very inefficient and spend some money. I'm going to go and take 8 tons. So let me just go back to the ATSU AOC. Let's actually take in 8 tons, shall we? Pop that in. Reload that. There we go, that's confirmed. So 7.9, as they've not refueled it quite accurately, and we're also burning some with the APU running as well. Let's go back to our init B page, and we're going to confirm now 7.9, which changes our takeoff weight from the OFP to 65.4. So as we've just had that change, 65.4, I just need to redo my takeoff calculations. 65.4, let's calculate that. And just get the latest METAR as well, make sure that's not changed. So we've got a flex takeoff of 68 degrees. That's fine. If you're wondering how I've done this, you'll, if you follow the channel a lot
Warsaw
of the time,
traffic.
you'll have seen me using the WAPRO website to sort that out.
13 Lima. Push and start. Facing north.
Let's have a look at our takeoff performance then. So, transition altitude here is 6,500 feet. Our flaps 1 for takeoff. And our flex temp, as we've just calculated, as 68 degrees. Okay, I believe it's noise abatement 1 as well here, so we get to have another practice at that as we did yesterday. So the elevation is 352, so let's just change, as you can see that's pretty close, 1350, so I can pop this in 1352, and then it's going to be 3352 for our acceleration. That's now coded in. Let's calculate those V speeds. There we go. There is also a 200 knot speed restriction until we get above 1,500 feet.
Pilot 158 is taxiing to runway 15
So,
via Oscar.
just going to turn that off for the moment. So, we'll probably continue to fly at S speed. That will hold us below 200 knots until we get above 1,500 feet. Then we can retract the flaps and accelerate away after passing 3,350 feet. Alright, so with all that sorted, let's do a quick departure briefing, which I think I've just spoken about actually, but it's quite a nice straightforward departure. It straight out, and then above 1,500 feet we've got the right hand turn to our first waypoint. Max speed until then is 200 knots. So HD has just said we won't need to worry about that speed. What speed will you be at before the acceleration height? We should be, before the acceleration, should be at 194. No, that's wrong. We want to be V2 plus 10, so we're looking about 150. About 150 before the acceleration height. V2 plus 10, or around there. Keep the nose up. HD, I love how you type no, and then I can tell you're typing away as I'm talking. Alright, so that's now all set. I think our passengers are loaded. Fiakai, thank you very much for the donation to the channel, my friend. Hope you have a great flight with us today. Hope we can take you somewhere warm. Although I'm guessing if you're in Australian dollars, it's already very warm where you are, compared to where we are here in Europe. Slowly starting to warm up. Okay, so we get our air traffic control departure clearance now. There's no air traffic control online. I'm going to double check that. Someone has come online. I'm just going to check that. Bratislava radar. So no, they're not controlling us at the moment. So the before start checklist, cockpit preparation has now all been completed. Just turn on the APU bleed as well as we start getting ready to push back and start the engines. Our signs are on and auto. The idea is we've got 3 nav green. Fuel quantity is loaded, reloaded, and we can check that that's all balanced. Flight management guidance system is all set, and our QNH 1028. Alright, so any threats to our departure? No, this is looking like quite a nice departure. Perhaps if the weather was showing as it should be, but in our simulator today we've got nice long weather, nice long runway to depart from. We're below the maximum landing weight, so if we did have an issue we could return here, no problem. HD, oh I don't know, did you see me do that? So for the iris alignment and oh, wrong page. IRS monitor 3 nav green. Alright, so let's come back and just go through. There's no issues with the aircraft as far as I know. We did have an update to the simulator yesterday. Hopefully nothing will be affected too badly. I downloaded this version of the fly-by-wire custom build just before this flight, so fingers crossed all will be working there. NOTAMs, nothing to worry about. I looked through those earlier. And threats, minimum safe altitude is 2,500 feet, so that's quite low actually. And climb altitude is initially 6,000 feet. That's all set. Transition altitude is 6,500 feet. Or the transition level, sorry, is 6,500 feet. Other than that, I think we're good to go. So we'll just make the call, get everybody on board. Everybody is on board actually. I can now close those doors. Hakai, yes, if you check on the channel there is a playlist of advanced tutorials. If you want to check those out, that goes through how to calculate takeoff performance and things like that. Let's get those doors armed and we'll start getting ready for pushback as well. External power can come off.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and on behalf of Easyjet, let me welcome you on board your flight. We're just doing our final checks here in the flight deck whilst the cabin crew secure the aircraft, and we'll be ready to push back soon. Please get yourself comfortable with your seatbelts securely fastened and give the cabin crew your full attention during the safety briefing. Thank you for flying with us today, and we'll give you an update from the flight deck once we are airborne.
Alright, so let's announce our intentions on Unicom. And
Flight 158 taking off runway 15.
I've disconnected the ground power. However, that doesn't look very disconnected, does it? 1 second.
Okishi ground Airbus Golf, Echo Zulu Golf Sierra. I am done with power.
There we go. I'm just going to have a quick look around me as well. Make sure we're not in anybody's way. There's the first of the group off. Right, let me get back in the flight deck. HD, thank you for that first ruler moment of the flight. And there you are. I'm going to leave that there for now until we've cleared the noise abatement 1 departure. Actually, let's also get that turned on, shall we? We'll link this up. Let me just pop my username in there. So the Easyjetsimpilot. Copy and paste that in. There we go. Link the electronic flight bag. There we are. Alright. One last look around before I start to push back. There we go. Check we're on active Unicom frequency 122.8 and broadcasting on 122.8. Worth noting, if you use COM2 here in the simulator, it does mean that you're broadcasting on COM2, which is no good if you're on Unicom. There we go. VPilot is now checked and working. So, Warsaw traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, stand 1-2, pushing back, facing north. Tug driver on his way. There he comes. let's get that rotating beacon light on. Nose wheel steering is disconnected. Acupressure is in the green. Turn that transponder, oops, to auto, not all the way. Parking brake and thrust levers still on. So the before start checklist below the line. Windows and doors checked and closed and armed. Rotating beacon light is on. Mobile phone off. Parking brake is on. Okay, let's start getting ready to push back, shall we? Tug is connected. Let's lock those cockpit doors. Parking brake
Warsaw
released.
traffic, Skyway 5556, lining up runway 15.
And pushing back now. So, APU is running. Engine mode, select to ignition and starting engine 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the crew I ask that you please direct your attention to the monitors as we review the emergency procedures. There are 6 emergency exits on the aircraft. Take a minute to locate the one closest to you and note that it may...
Warsaw traffic, Skyway 5556, departing runway 15.
Should the cabin experience pressure loss, stay calm and listen for instructions from the cabin crew. Oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose like this, and pull the strap to tighten it. If you are traveling with children, make sure you put your own mask on first before helping others. In the unlikely event of an emergency...
Warsaw traffic, figure 464, lining up behind the departing flight UK on runway 15.
Located below your seats and emergency lighting in the floors will lead you to the closest exit. We ask that you make sure that all carry-on luggage is stowed away safely during the flight. While we wait for takeoff, please take a moment to review the safety procedures on the card in the pocket in front.
Engine 1 stabilised, starting engine
Thank
2.
you for your attention and we hope you enjoy the flight.
Tug driver's doing a nice job as well, I might add. I'm slowly learning how this
Warsaw
app
traffic,
works.
we're giving 2 minutes for clearance. Figure 464.
Trying to get us onto the line. We can hold it there. Pushback is complete. Set parking brakes. Engine 2 is now available and stabilised. So engine mode select to norm. APU bleed coming off. No anti-ice required. APU masters coming off. Ground spoilers armed. Flaps 1. And pitch trim. Centre of gravity 29.5. Where's that white arrow? The sun's shining on it. Can't see it. There we go. Pitch trim set and rudder trim as well. After start checklist. Anti-ice off. Ecam status checked. Pitch trim 29.5 and rudder is set to 0. Clear to disconnect.
464 is rolling.
Warsaw traffic, Easyjet will be lining up on runway 15 behind the departing Embraer 464.
Okay, so let's just do our flight controls check. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, full left, and neutral. So the pushback's clear. Let's announce our taxi. Warsaw traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, taxiing via Zulu 1 Alpha 3 Alpha 2 to holding point Alpha 0 runway 15. Let's get that taxi light on. Release that parking brake. And we can start to roll.
Warsaw traffic, Easyjet will be waiting about 5 minutes on runway 15 due to spacing.
So I'll get to the end here, and it is actually, well, there's 3 lines here on the left coming up. We've got Zulu Bravo 1, Zulu 1, Zulu Oscar 1. I don't think it really matters which one we take, but Zulu 1 is the one in the centre. I've just realised actually, maybe Zulu Bravo is Zulu Blue. There's different coloured lines here. The scenery is nice and advanced. So I'll follow our company A320, who may be using obviously a different simulator or different scenery, looking at the looking at the taxi route. He's just mowing the grass while he's going along. Save the groundsman some work. So this is now on to Alpha 3. So I would just roll nice and steady. Let's just continue the preparation for takeoff.
And the departing Easyjet Warsaw, we're now 3 minutes out, so you should be good to go.
I will roger that. I will wait 1 more minute.
Okay, so
due to making a
no
bit
change
more
to our
spacing.
performance. Flex temp still the same. Engine out procedure. If we did have an issue, we would come back here, as I've got a very nice clear day here in the simulator. Good long runway. But we would arrive potentially on a different runway just for ease. Just for ease, we'd come in on the ILS approach. And the departure matches as it should do in the flight management guidance computer. Turn those constraints on actually. And 6,000 feet is our stop altitude. It is a noise abatement 1 departure, so we'll be looking to hold on departure until around 3,300 feet, a speed of around 150 knots. Thrust reduction 1,300 feet.
Warsaw traffic is yet following on runway 15.
So flight controls checked, briefing confirmed, flaps 1, FMA and takeoff data 132 blue, 137 magenta, climb nav blue, 6,000 feet blue, 1 FD2, and flex temp of 68 for the takeoff. Is that Shumi that's just rolling now? I believe so. It's quite nice to be going last for a change. It means you guys get to do the approach first. Alright, so whilst we're sat here, let's run our before takeoff checks, and transponder can now come on as well. ECAM memo, takeoff, no blue, electronic flight bag is stowed, the cabin is secured for takeoff, engine mode select is normal, TCAS, TARA and tilt above. Packs, we'll leave those on for a moment as we're going to be a while yet before we depart, but the anti-ice will remain off. Whilst we're also sat here then, we can just check our brake fans and brake temperatures. They're absolutely fine. We'll not turn our lights on yet, we've got a while to wait, but we can now approach the stop line. So holding short of runway 15. We'll wait for him to depart and then we shall line up and just complete our checks, lights, etc. And we can turn the packs off ready for departure. And we can also check those constraints actually match there above 1,500 feet before making that right hand turn. That's also where the speed restriction is as well, but it's 200 knots, we don't need to worry about that given the noise abatement. So let's have a look at what the weather should actually be here. Yeah, it should still be misty, broken 600 and 5 kilometers. Nothing like the weather that I can see outside at the moment. So we'll just wait for him to depart. Once I see him rolling and disappear, I'll just start the chrono for 2 minutes. Make sure we get good spacing on our departure. There we go, so he's now rolling. Off he goes. So we'll line up and wait behind the departing Easyjet. Warsaw traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, landing at runway 15 and holding short for 2 minutes before takeoff. So, just use that chrono there, 2 minutes. Let's release those parking brakes and then start getting everything set up. Lights on for takeoff, strobe lights coming on, turn those packs off, pack 1, pack 2. I love the rumbling sounds that they've done with the gears as well. They sound really, really good, don't they? So we'll just hold that there for another minute or so before we depart. Once again, whilst we're sat here, we can just check everything is as and where it should be. Another 30 seconds or so. And we shall say goodbye to Warsaw and this beautiful free mod of an airport. Again, if you've joined us late, you can get this free airport at flightsim.to. Definitely worth getting. So a reminder again, noise abatement 1 departure, acceleration not until 3,300 feet. 2 minutes has now passed, so I can reset that. Alright, let's go. Take off, start the chrono, and set 50% N1. And then set flex temp. Man flex, SRS, and runway, auto thrust blue.
Check.
V1 and rotate.
Positive rate of climb, gear up.
So holding that pitch about 15 degrees. And climb thrust in a moment. There we go. Set climb thrust. Keeping that pitch up. Check we're in the CL detent. We are. And we're going to be well past that speed restriction of 200 knots, nowhere near it, so that's okay. Engine's coming back. Just lower that nose slightly to try and get around 150 knots. There we go. And then we'll make the turn in a moment, and then we can start to accelerate and lower the nose. A gentle turn, see if we can stop the passengers from screaming. That's it, we're now past the acceleration altitude. Let's lower that nose again. Get those packs off. Pack 1. And pack 2. Coming up to S speed. S speed now, so we can go flap 0 and disarm the spoilers. And that flight director's sprung back to life and looking a bit more accurate now. So our initial climb cruise is 6,000 feet. There's the alarm. There's no air traffic control on board, so let's set a flight level 150, standard pressure, and autopilot 1 engaged. Bit of a dog-legged departure, right, left, but that's the way it is. Jay Hayes, you'd like a Jackson Coke? No worries, mate. We'll send the alcohol trolley round in a minute. I've not yet released the cabin crew. Flight looks stable enough though, so cabin crew are now released. Coming up on 10,000 feet soon, so we'll turn the lights off as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may now use your electronic devices. Rechargeable battery packs are available for your smartphones and tablets. Please use Super Chats or Super Sticker to get your cabin crew's attention. You may also ask them about joining our Frequent Flyers Club and joining the channel. Thank you.
10,000 feet, lights off. So allegedly this is live weather, guys, on the Microsoft servers. However, I have it on good authority, very, very good authority, that this is not what the weather is currently like over Poland. Never mind. Well, that's no problem. All that means is we're not going to crash into each other on landing, so that's fine. So whilst we're in the climb, guys, do me a favour, hit the like button on the stream for me, that would be most appreciated. Get through this turn and then we'll release the passengers as well. Uncapping Badger, so today's flight in total is about 2.5 hours, I think. Joseph, yeah, we've gone for an afternoon flight again today. Flight level 150, and I'm going to set our cruising flight level today, which is a cruise flight level of 360. 360 blue. Alright, let's release the passengers. You can now stretch your legs. Toilets are open.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, so you are free to move about the cabin. However, please note that we do recommend you fasten your seatbelts at all times when you are seated in case of turbulence. Thank you.
Jay, do I ever do fighter jets? Oh no. No. I wouldn't have a clue what I'm doing. Just the commercial ones for me. Let's get that standby down to standard temperature. And as we're climbing through, check the progress. Flight level 360 planned today. Optimum and maximum both at flight level 390.
Warsaw traffic, Austrian 6 Sierra on the log of 4 November, Rnav arrived at runway 11.
Good morning, Ronald. So if we just have a little look, let me try and update the METAR here and see what it says. That's not updated. That one was half an hour ago, that last METAR that we've got there in from Warsaw. But the weather in Crete is looking quite nice. Good visibility, but that wind is really increasing. Look at that, 20 knots. This could be an interesting arrival. Well, I could always sack it off on the way as I pass Athens and just divert. Not even bother. If the winds do get up too much, there is a landing limitation, which is 38 knots. Chummy, oh, that's good to know. What I would be interested in is, are there any clouds anywhere? Oh, I can just see a little layer of cloud over there, look. And normally what I've found is that if you're on clear weather, then there's not a single cloud in the sky. If you're on live weather, but it is looking very, very clear, but you can spot just a little cloud layer somewhere, doesn't matter how big or small, then usually that means that it is working at live weather. So it might be working. Chubby, yeah, I can resend that flight plan for you. Hang on. There we go. Simvator, you're at work and enjoying it. Well, sit back, relax and enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to serve our lunch menu. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. If you would like to upgrade your meal to the premium package, super stickers and super chats are available. If you are a frequent flyer with us, you can now join the channel as a member and receive extra perks to make your journey with us more enjoyable. Thank you.
Asopa, is VNav working? No, not yet. No, we have to tease the aircraft down manually at the moment. One of the good things about not having loads of clouds around is it means you get to enjoy the views from the windows. J-Hog, have you turned the TCAS on? And I'm presuming that the ideas are aligned as well. I think that's one of the only reasons I can think of for it saying TCAS is in standby. Lewis to real pilots use VNav. Oh yeah, all the time. All the time. Gamer 777, that's lovely. Have you brushed your teeth today? Passing flight level 280. I'll just let that climb up to flight level 360 for our cruise. Just checking if we've got any more air traffic control online. I don't believe so. I wonder if there's any online where we're headed. Let's have a quick look, shall we? Right, so Bratislava radar is online and we're going to be entering their airspace pretty soon. 134.47. So we'll tune into them now. I think they've sped up, you know, how quickly you can change those, which is nice. 134.475. And that should be tuned now to Bratislava.
Speedbird 464 identified flight level 360, proceed direct Parak, climb flight level 370.
Climb to flight level 370 and we'll go direct barracks. Speedbird 464.
So Paul, you're telling you should be an odd number. Simbrief's given you 360, or strangely enough, Simbrief also gave me 360 as well, unless there is an altitude change, which we'll just double check.
Leaving airspace shortly, radar service terminated, frequency change approved, Unicom 122.8, goodbye.
Over to Unicom 1228. Thank you very much. Pilot 158, bye-bye.
And actually it does give us a cruise change to flight level 370 on the operational flight plan. Make sure that it's checked all the way through, so we can climb now to flight level 370. 370 blue. And we know we could do that without checking anything, because as we passed 10,000 feet, we'd already checked the optimum and maximum climb levels.
5 kilo, passing flight level 240 to flight level 270.
Rex 215 kilo, good afternoon, Bratislava radar identified, climb flight level 350, proceed direct to Karel.
Climb to flight level 350, direct to Karel. Rex 215 kilo.
So I think we cross over into Bratislava radar at Babko, which should be in about 10 minutes. About to pass flight level 340. Little bit of wing flex there, and of course with no ice outside we had no clouds, so HD is smiling happy. A320 Larry, where do you get the radar range? Are you talking about... Hang on, let me jump back in the flight deck. Are you talking about the radar range here on the navigation display? In which case it's just up there. Set the navigation displays maximum range to 40, 80, etc. Just Josh Gaming. Thank you very, very much, sir, for your donation to the channel.
Good afternoon, Bratislava radar, squawk 1735.
Grab yourself a beer from the trolley cart.
Good afternoon, Easyjet.
And of course you can have the premium brands, Josh. Although the last time I was in Poland, I believe the brand of choice over there was a beer called Brax. I don't know if that's still around. It was 20 years ago since I was in Poland.
Easy 54 identified, proceed direct Parak.
Direct Parak, EasyJet 54.
Oh, A320 Larry. Right, okay, so what all I did there was I looked at the operational flight plan to see at which waypoint we actually crossed into their airspace. And it should be at about 25 minutes into the flight. And as you can see at the moment, we're now 18 minutes into the flight. So that's how I worked that out. So we're coming up on flight level 370 for the cruise, Mac, Altstar and Nav. Chubby, yeah, just for the Brax beer. Is that still around? All I remember from that, and to be fair, when I'd been drinking it in my youth, not very much, was the next day I felt absolutely fine. And there we go, Alt Cruise on the FMA. Jay, they're sending food around at the moment. You need something to soak up that Jackson Coke. We'll have plenty of time for Jackson Coke on our way to Crete, and of course when you get there it's holiday season, if we were actually allowed to go on holiday. Simvator, you can find us on VATScan, yeah. 50 miles from Babco. And that's where the boundary is for Bratislava's flight information region. The Simvator, you see unicorn in our future. That's probably true, to be honest. If I just have a look at the VAT map now, we may pass through. No, I don't think I was. Sofia controls online. I don't think we're going to pass through Sofia. Piranha Shell, it's the nerve-wracking bugs that keep us alive. It's far easier to fly the real thing. It usually does what you tell it. I say usually. We have a lot more of those what's it doing now moments than the guys do flying the real thing.
Skybase 5556 leaving airspace shortly, radar service terminated, frequency change approved, Unicom 122.8, good day.
22A for Skyways 5556, good day.
Oh, that's Digital Flight Deck. He's in and out of the airspace. Chubby, I don't even think I could pronounce those things, let alone swallow them. HD, this is a lot cheaper than renting the full motion. Yeah, that's true. Just thinking, how much did the rig cost? The rig only cost about 750, about 750, 800 quid. I think the last time I was in a full motion, I would probably have just got maybe 2.5 hours for that. So now we're at the top of the climb.
X215 kilo leaving airspace shortly, radar service terminated, frequency change approved, Unicom 122.8, goodbye.
We should be at Babco about 25 minutes in.
Have a good afternoon. FedEx 2
And we're going to be there in about 2 minutes, so we're well on time. So let's give air traffic control a heads up. Oh, the Adriatic is online as well. So we might have some more ATC. Bratislava radar, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, flight level 370, 20 miles from Babco.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, good afternoon, Bratislava radar, squawk 1737.
1737 the squawk for Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Oh, that's annoying. Why is my squawk not working? Right, do we have a .com function in... right, just clear that. Let's try again. Right, 7, 3, 7. There we go. You had to clear it first. You didn't used to have to do that.
Easyjet 464 leaving airspace shortly, radar service terminated, frequency change approved, Unicom 122 decimal 8, goodbye.
This is Unicom on 122 decimal 8, Super 464, thanks for the ATC.
So that's Nick. He's out of Bratislava radar. They're all going to be on the ground. I expect beers waiting, guys, when I land. So I'm just waiting to see if Bratislava radar give us a radar contact. They might not give it us until they enter their airspace, actually. Should be in about 7 miles.
Fine 18 Romeo Mike, identified flight level 370, report requested level.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, flight level 370, if possible, please.
Roger, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, proceed direct Barak.
Proceed direct Barak for Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Let's have a look. And direct to Barak. $210 miles away. As our nav approach is basically visual, only to a certain point. They basically bring you in to within a few hundred feet vertically of the airport, so like your minimum descent altitude. So the minimums are a lot higher for an RNAV, and then normally you just disconnect the autopilot and fly it in visually, just like you would do an ILS.
The 854 leaving airspace shortly, radar service
But
terminated.
where an ILS can take you all the way down to the runway,
goodbye.
the RNAVs don't.
Frequency change to 122.8, monitor Unicom, Hesky Den, Easyjet 54.
Mustaf, what graphics settings do I use? Okay, so there's a video on my channel showing you all the graphics settings that I have, and the only thing I would say about the fly-by-wire A320 is just turn off the first officer's displays, as that's an extra resource that drains your GPU. Okay guys, so now that we're at cruising altitude, we're well on our way. I'm going to go and come off the microphone for a little bit, but I will of course be back with you for the descent and the Rnav landing in Crete. I'll be with you in the chat room though, so find me there in a couple of minutes. Hope you all enjoyed that departure. Thanks to everyone for watching. Enjoy a beer, enjoy the views, and I'll chat with you in the chat room. Speak to you soon.
Pine 34 Alpha Mike, New Squawk 1727.
Alpha 727 for Alpine 3 for Alpha Mike.
Line 34 Alpha Mike leaving Mercedes, shortly radar service terminated, frequency change approved, Unicom 122.8, goodbye.
serve our drinks selection, including tea, coffee and cold beverages. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. If you would like to upgrade to other warm beverages available, such as hot chocolate and jam and toast tea, super stickers and super chats are available. If you are a frequent flyer with us, you can now join the channel as a member and receive extra perks to make your journey with us more enjoyable. Thank you. a selection of alcoholic drinks including wine and locally sourced ales. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. If you would like to upgrade to premium brands, super stickers and super chats are available. If you are a frequent flyer with us, you can now join the channel as a member and receive extra perks to make your journey with us more enjoyable. Thank you.
Larnaca Airport via Kea to Lima departure runway 0 left. Initially climb 7,000 feet, then squawk 7226.
Clear, Larnaca aspire via Kea to Lima departure, runway 0 left, initially 7,000 feet, and squawk 7226 for Eurotrans 5 Lima Whiskey.
Eurotrans 5 Lima Whiskey, your readback is correct. Call ready for pushback and touchdown.
Let's go.
Exeter 746, welcome to Venizelos. Airport taxi via Alpha Niner, Alpha Hotel, Delta and Charlie to gate Alpha Niner.
Nothing wrong with GM 0982 is ready for booking time.
Edge.
Level 330.
Ryanair and 9369 Hola, set squawk 6225.
Squawk 6225 for Ryanair 9369 landing. Europe Control, good afternoon, Chanix 1322 with you, flight level 350.
Chanix 1322, good evening, set squawk 1000.
Good squawk 1000, Chanix 1322. Hello there, your control. This is Channel 633, flight level 350, inbound to Kuos.
Channel 633, good evening, report ready for descent, you're identified.
Full code, Channel 633.
Euro Control South, this is Skyway 5556 with you, flight level 350.
Skyway 5556, good evening, identified.
Euro Control, good day, Agent 601, flight level 370, inbound MS.
Agent 601, good enough, identified, report ready for descent.
Because I'm ready for descent, Agent 601.
Your control, very good afternoon to you. Eastern 95 Papa Whiskey, Papa 350, inbound Tripoli.
95 Papa Whiskey, wonderful evening, you're identified.
Thank you.
Euro Control South, good afternoon. Swiss 256, flight level 370, inbound SOPO.
Swiss 256, good evening, set squawk 1000.
Squawk 1000 to Swiss 256.
and gentlemen, we are about to serve our dinner menu. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. If you would like to upgrade your meal to the premium package, super stickers and super chats are available. If you are a frequent flyer with us, you can now join the channel as a member and receive extra perks to make your journey with us more enjoyable.
Victor Papa, Bravo Uniform Charlie, climb flight level 370.
Victor Uniform Charlie, good evening, set squawk 0500.
0500.
Hello, contact 4734. Are we in your airspace or not? On the we are.
Target 4724, negative, Milan offline, so you can go to Uniform 122.8 and enjoy your flight.
Although Control South, you see Munich Airways 335, flight level is 250, climbing 360 inbound is near.
Munich 335 identified, climb 360.
Climb 360, Munich Airways 335.
Control, good morning. Enter 33 Sierra with you, inbound heavy, flight level 380.
Enter 33 Sierra, good evening, recycled squawk code 0501.
0501, enter 33 Sierra. Agent 601, ready for departure.
Agent 601, descend level 250 and switch to Unicom 122.8. Enjoy your flight.
Unicom 122.8, descend level 250, Agent 601.
Hey guys, so back with you. Not too long now until we start heading down, so we're going to start preparing for our Rnav approach. I'm sure Nick's looking forward to it. Where are we? Let's get the weather, see what's happening there. We'll send that off. So we're planning to land, it's the Rnav runway 27 at Herculon, and it is the Zavis 1 Alpha arrival. The Zavis 1 Alpha arrival requires us to be at 3,000 feet by, wrong chart, 3,000 feet by Gonzo. That's the initial approach fix and the start of the Rnav approach. HD, 1 second. Fair enough. I've just received that. I've been fighting with the kids, they won't go to sleep. So yeah, we want to be at Gonzo, we want to be at 3,000 feet, so there's our current altitude. I'm going to clear that. I like using the top of the descent calculator, it's a nifty little tool. So what I'm actually going to do is, because I do want to slow down, and as it's an Rnav approach, we're going to configure a little bit early. I want to target, we'll target 3,000 feet, but we'll look to be there and add a few miles to this, particularly with the wind as well. So if we're going to start that descent, probably about 100 miles away, then that gives us a descent rate around 2,300 feet per minute. Let's just have a look, see where we actually are from Gonzo. And you can see we're probably about 200 miles away at the moment, so still a little bit of time to run. Air traffic control is online, but they've not sent us a contact me just yet. Usually wait to hear from them. I would probably give them a call when I want to start the descent though, just to make sure that we're not going to do anything they don't want to. Nicola, yeah. Or it's 10-20 miles of level flight. Well, I could do with a good 10 miles of level flight, just want to configure and get the speed down for this Rnav approach. And it's very windy as well. I don't know if those winds have changed at all. So probably looking, change that ground speed to around about 400 But yeah, about 2,200 feet per minute will get us down there nice and early. There by Gonzo. Will, have you not got an operational flight plan? So, from Gonzo, let's check this coding. Scroll down here. So I'm expecting to see Gonzo 3,000 feet, and then IR 402 also 3,000 feet, IR 401 2,300 feet. That is correct. What I do want to see actually is, I can't actually go in and edit those. I just wanted to make sure that it was plus 2,300 feet. We can't descend below it. And then the final waypoint in this approach is the IR 400, and that is correct at 2,000 feet. Our platform altitude for that. That is the part where we should, if it's going to work, hit the approach mode, and the Rnav will descend nicely. Let's just have a look at how this is coded in. Turn those constraints on. Just pull the distance in a little bit, and scroll down. So there we go. From Gonzo, IR 402, 401, and then finally IR 400, around about the centre there. You can see that a little bit clearer now. And then straight in. So hopefully that weather's now come through for us as well. Let's get that in. AOC menu, messages received, and grab the meta. And hit print for that. I think the good thing about this wind is it's shouldn't be too much of a crosswind from what we've just seen, but we'll go ahead and punch that in. So performance, next phase. Right, clear that out of the way. Let me remove the chat window now so that I don't forget to do it a little bit later on. Okay, QNH is 1024. And the temperature 14 degrees. Winds are 320 18 knots. Transition altitude is 6,000 feet. Minimum descent altitude is 830. So, as we know, the simulator doesn't always like Rnav approaches. One of the things I also want to be aware of is the descent angle. So the descent angle is 3.4 degrees if we have to use track FBA, and if all else fails, using raw data, we, with a VAP speed of 125, want to be descending at about 740 feet per minute. So we've got that as a backup in case we need that. Alright, so we have got a bit of cloud shown there as well, a few clouds, scattered clouds. Let's see if they're actually depicted in the simulator though, shall we? Not having much luck with seeing any clouds out of the windows. Have we got anything around us at all? Nope. Interestingly enough as well, the weather that I'm pulling through there is actually from the flight simulator servers, so who knows? HD, I think that's less than 34. We're not there yet. Having said that, have you just sent me the information? Let's have a quick look. Da, 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 da. We'll talk about the problems with the terrain as well in a couple of minutes. So we've got the weather and the landing information. That's all received. We've coded in the flight management guidance computer. Landing elevation is 82 feet, so quite low down. Given the winds and the usable runway length, which is 2,714, also the fact that it's an Rnav approach, I'm also going to go with low auto brake for this. So we can pop that on now. That's confirmed auto brake low. So the arrival briefing then, which we have just done as I was popping everything in, but just so we're all happy with what's happening, just increase that so you can see. So we're pretty much over Athens at the moment. So there you can see Gonzo. There's the start of the approach. IR 402, we want to be at 3,000 feet, sorry. Maximum speed of 185 knots. Then at 401 we want to be down to 2,300 feet. Then IR 400 we want to be at 2,000 feet, and this is the start of the approach. Hit the approach button just before we get there, and hopefully we'll get a final approach captured on the FMA. If not, and it doesn't appear to work, then that's when I'm going to be able to hopefully take over. We've got clear skies, we should be able to see the runway out from there. The other thing I need to mention is, although it's not very well depicted here on the VFR map, but there is some big hills to the south and the west of the airfield. Big hills. We obviously don't want to fly into those. So the missed approach is almost an immediate right-hand turn up to 3,000 feet and heading back towards Gonzo via another approach fix, which sadly we've not got the go-around track here just yet. So HD, as you're here, mate, what is the where have we got the Pappy angle? Is that on the charts, or is that something you've sent me? Where was I? Oh, the missed approach. Yeah, missed approach is 3,000 feet. And back up towards Gonzo. So just shrink that back down again. So the minimum safe altitudes as well. So as we're coming in for the approach, 4,000 feet, we're over the ocean, and then as we start to turn inbound towards the land, it shoots up dramatically to 9,200 feet. And then as we're crossing over, if we have to go around, we need to be very careful. Minimum safe altitude to the left hand side of us as we're on the approach is 10,200 feet. We'll check that out, HD. 10.9 did you say? Alright, so the Pappy angle is 3 degrees and our actual approach is 3.4 degrees, so yeah, there's the difference, there's the threat. That's why I love having HD in the chat with us. So that may not be fully aligned as we're coming in. Transition altitude 6,000 feet, and I think we're now briefed on the approach. Get ready to start our descent in around 20 miles or so. A little bit of a tailwind as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, just from the flight deck again, just to let you know, shortly start
So that's it. We've now just left mainland Greece. Athens is well behind us. That was our alternate, actually. I have no idea what all these tiny little islands below us are called. I'm sure somebody in the chat might do, but not me. So we've done the arrival briefing then. We will be turning on the radar, the ground radar for our approach. And oh, look at that, clouds! They're the first clouds I've seen the entire flight. So we're now prepared for this descent, which I said we're going to start soon with a descent rate of, where's that gone? Descent rate of about 2,200 feet per minute to get down to 3,000 feet by Gonzo. Hope you've all had a good flight anyway, guys. A nice afternoon's flying. 25 to 4 here in the UK where I am, so we're down well in time before the dog eats my tea. A reminder then tonight that we have got a members only stream, and we're going to be having a look at the new performance tool that has been added to the electronic flight bag. Not available yet, not downloadable just yet, but we're going to have a look at it, and it's basically a landing and takeoff performance tool, which we're going to have a little bit of a play with during a live stream. We probably won't be flying today, on this evening stream, but we're going to have a look, one, at how it works, and two, using the Navigraph charts to get some details. So, big thanks to HD for providing some background with that. So that'll be fun. We can set ourselves up anywhere in the world we want, can't we, to have a little look at that. So as I say, that stream tonight shall be a members only stream, so look forward to chatting with you then. And it seems like air traffic control is online, which means now we've got some ATIS. So Rnav approach runway 27 in use, that's good. Transition level is 5,000 feet, so that's changed to 5,000 feet. Visibility is good, so that's fine. It also means that it is only the tower that is online, so we don't actually need to contact them until we're almost on final approach. So what I will do now is just bung that into the standby, so the tower is 120.85. 120.850. There we go. That's now keyed in. We'll leave that on Unicom for the moment. Alright, so time to start that descent. So we're going all the way down to 3,000 feet. So 3,000 feet, descent rate of around 2,200 feet per minute. Start to slow the aircraft down. Set standard pressure, which is 1024, and confirm. Thrust idle, vertical speed minus 2200, and 3,000 feet set. down we go. Set the QNH on the standby as well, as I'm descending us straight down to 3,000 feet. Realistically, if we've got air traffic control, they'd be giving us a step down, but we're not. We're just going straight down to 3,000. HD, yes, I know it does. I'd like to use open descent, but open descent just doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. It tends to drop me down at around. In fact, watch. Let's see if we can try it. So what are we at? We're at 2,200 at the moment, which is what I planned for. If we just go into open descent, and I want to hold that because I also can't change the speed bug to work in knots at the moment. So I'm going to manually set that. Now you can see we're dropping at around 3,500 feet per minute, which means we will be coasting along for about 50 miles if I'm not too careful. So I am just going to have to manually do that, which means, as you say, I need to keep an eye on that speed because it will not hold it otherwise. Ideally, like you've just said, I'd like to use managed descent, but that doesn't work either. So light fluffy clouds, just check that temperature. I don't think we're going to need to worry about ice too much. Let's reduce that speed right down. Let's slow it down to 250 and then pop it into open descent, see what happens. I can't set it to 270 knots because, well, it doesn't like that. I don't mind it descending about 1,000 feet per minute because when we did test it a second ago, it obviously shot down at 3,000 feet per minute, so we're probably still on that profile which I've calculated. So that's okay. So if we just start to increase that target speed a little bit, see what happens. So now it should hopefully raise us back up to hold that target speed. As you can see, that's 4,000 feet per minute, bringing it back. ,3,000 feet per minute. Starting to bring it in, isn't it? Let's slow the aircraft down a tad more. The other problem as well is because I'm working in Mach mode, it's speeding up anyway until I can get it into knots. So the speed of air is no longer a problem. So I'm going to reduce that speed a little bit. There we go. So pitching up. Once we get past 250, flight level 250, then we can perhaps work this a little bit better. So I've not checked VATSIM for a while, so I don't know if the others are. Don't know if the others have landed yet. I know they were all ahead of me. I don't know how big the apron is either, so hopefully there'll be a parking spot. So now we can set that target descent of 270 knots. Anyway, whilst that's Whilst that's taking place, passing flight level 240 now. Our cabin crew can start preparing for our landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, you may have noticed we've begun our descent into our destination. We're not expecting any further delays or traffic in front of us in the next few days, so if you can assist the cabin crew by tidying your tray, handling the bag, and putting any bags provided. For safety reasons, please set off all electronic devices and switch them to airplane mode until we have landed. Please also note that the aircraft controls will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
John, is that Santorini there? Yeah, so what are we at now? We're about 2,600 feet per minute descending in open descent, which is a little bit fast. So let's slow the aircraft down a little bit. Try and bring that back up. I can't wait until VNav works. But I can get around it. But as HG has just mentioned, and we've seen it every flight we do, when using VS for the speed, you're constantly fighting with the speed bug. Nicola, Santorini is nice but quite boring. Well, that sounds like the perfect holiday destination to me. I'll get lazy when VNav works. I can't ever afford to get lazy, HD. Look. Every time something goes wrong, you're there. We're looking pretty much on profile now. We're descending at around 2200 feet per minute. We've fluctuated up and down whilst trying to get that to work, but never mind. So far, a nice uneventful flight for all of you today. Let's hope it remains that way until we're parked up, shall we? Yeah, about 50 track miles to go seems a good guesstimate looking at that. Nicola, what can go wrong? Well, it's an Rnav approach and it's flight sim 2020, so I'll let you answer that. Yeah, as you can see, we've now really sped up, haven't we? But then if I flip the heading, flip the speed bug just by even a single knot, it almost gives it a kick and starts working again. It's all very buggy. Buggy, 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 buggy. Basically, I need to lose 10,000 feet in about 40 track miles, so that should be doable. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take the bull by the horns, and I'm going to start controlling it. So VS speed -17, 1700 feet per minute. So now coming up on 10,000 feet in a minute or two. Let's get the passengers in their seats. Another sunset landing, low in the sky. We're going to have the sun right in our eyes as well as we come into land.
Gentlemen, the captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please fasten your seatbelts as soon as possible. Thank you.
Let's clear the VFR map off there then, we don't need that. So we're 9 miles from Zavis. And I'm just going to start rolling that speed back a little bit. So let's get those spoilers out. 10,000 feet coming up. It's a threat here, HD. I've got no visors. Y-Tracker on Twitch, good afternoon.
Proper traffic, Easyjet is inbound approach on runway 27 via Rnav and via Gonsu.
Am I on Unicom? I am. That's alright. We're going to make that approach now and announce that onto Unicom. Crete traffic Alpine 34 Alpha Mike is starting our approach to runway 7 for the Rnav via the Zavis 1 Alpha, and we're currently direct to Gonzo. Interestingly enough, there we go, direct to Gonzo there. Okay, let's start slowing down the aircraft, and we're already in the approach mode. Pop that in. First little bit of weather we've seen is, oh, that's not weather, that's the terrain radar, but yeah, we have actually, that weather radar would have been clear for the entire journey. Let's pop that on. Nicola, I think TCAS works if you're just flying with Microsoft's own traffic, but not if you're on VATSIM. Little bit of a bug there. We're going direct Gonzo, however IR 402 is currently displayed. 13 miles out from there. We can slow that rate of descent now, bring those spoilers back in as we'll slow down nicely. Approach checklist, minimums set 830, engine mode select norm, and electronic flight bag is stowed. Just coming through a little bit of clouds here. I don't think it'll warrant the anti-ice.
Crete traffic is 854 on final 10 miles to runway 27.
So I think Nick's about to land. Chibu is landing. He's on finals. I'm behind them, and I don't know where Will is. Will's heading in the wrong direction. In fact, I can just see Shimu is there, straight ahead of us. HD, no, it wasn't correct. It starts after the seatbelt signs came on. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, let's see if this works nicely. I'm going to pop in 2,000 feet and enter managed mode. Oh, not for 100 feet. Let's try that again, shall we? 2,000 feet managed for the descent. What I'm expected to see then is constraints kicking in, which would be nice if it can adhere to hit. Let's get that green dot targeted, and then we'll actually start to descend down to 3,000 feet, will we? There we go.
Quick traffic is a forest on go around, climb to 5,000 feet.
Go around altitude is 3,000 feet. Chibu, if you can and you're listening, turn north. Fly north for, I think it's about 9 miles, and then head back to Gonzo to start the approach again.
EasyJet is turning to heading 0, and we will be descending to 3,000 feet, and then going
okay, let's
to
start configuring
Gonzo.
up. So, flaps 1, speed check. Flaps 1. Bit of a balloon there. We're currently climbing at around 1,600 feet per minute. And I need to get down. So, there's a bug. I do have a visual with the runway now, just. So, a bit of speed brakes to help us with that, I think. Radio altimeter is alive. So we're going to be at 2,000 feet just before we need to, so that's okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please make sure you are seated with your belts fastened and your trays in the upright position. Any items should
Speed
be
and alt start.
all electronic devices until after landing.
HD, is it not 2,000 feet for the start of the Rnav? I may need you to debrief me on those approach charts. So we're currently 2 miles out from the start of the descent on the Rnav. Flaps 2, speed check. Flaps 2. Spoilers armed. And check we're on tower frequency. 120.85. Tower Alpine 34 Alpha Mike is on finals runway 28 at 6 miles.
Echo 34 Alpha Mike, wind 330 degrees, 18 knots, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 27, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Okay, so that's not descending, which means at this stage, oh actually, it has just started descending. I shall keep an eye on that. Landing gear coming down. Ding the cabin. Get the lights all on. What a beautiful sunset landing we have again. And there's that sun in our eyes as we spoke about. So there's that crosswind coming in at the moment, 26 knots. Flaps full. Flaps 3 and then shortly after flaps full. So, cabin is secured for landing. Auto thrust, speed, go around altitude, 3,000 feet, set. ECAM memo, landing no blue.
100 above. Minimum.
Autopilot off, I have control. I'm looking at that descent rate of about 740 feet per minute. That wind just crabbing us onto that centre line. Glad we're in the custom fly-by-wire build for this.
Ryanair 229R3, are you ready for immediate departure?
Ryanair 229R3, affirmative.
Ryanair 229R3, line up and wait.
Lining up and wait, runway 27.
Oh, that's not the greatest landing, is it? We've had better. Auto brakes off and reverse thrust off. Flaps retracted, ground spoilers disarmed.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Heraklion. The local time is 18:03. Unfortunately, the temperature is currently a very cold 0 degrees Celsius, or 32 Fahrenheit, so if you have a jacket or coat, you might want to put it on before exiting the airport.
Ryanair 229R3, wind 330 degrees, 18 knots, runway 27, clear for takeoff.
Let's pass the stop line and then see where it is we're going to be taxiing, shall we? What doesn't help is my Nevergraph charts have just frozen, so if he tells me to taxi somewhere, I've got no idea where he wants me to taxi. Oh, there we go. They've just come back on now. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike is vacated or awaiting taxi instructions.
Echo 34 Alpha Mike, taxi via Delta to stand Golf 10.
Taxi via Delta to stand 10. Confirm Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Echo 34 Alpha Mike, turn left on Delta and taxi to stand Golf 10.
Stand Golf 10 for Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Crete Tower, EasyJet4 on final at 2,300 feet, approach via Warsaw transition.
Easyjet54, continue approach, you are number 2 and expect late landing clearance.
Where on earth is Delta?
Approach number 2, expect late landing clearance, Easyjet4.
So turning left onto... Oh, there's Delta. Right, all the way back. Left onto Delta. And then Golf 10, the parking stand, which I cannot find in my Jepson charts anywhere, so I may have to ask for additional directions and help there.
Ryanair 229, confirm Unicom.
Ryanair 229-3, switch Unicom 122.8, bye-bye sir.
Ryanair 229, Unicom 123.8. Thanks for the see. Good evening, bye.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, currently on Delta. We can't find a Pakistan Golf 10. Is it possible for a different stand to the right of us?
Echo 34 Alpha Mike, turn on your right. It's Golf 10.
It may be Golf 10, but it's not. Roger, we'll park up on the right. Thank you, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Anyone else with Navigraph charts? Can you find Pakistan Golf 10 on there? Am I being extremely blind? If it should be just Pakistan 10, that makes sense.
Easyjet54, there is landing traffic on the runway. Expect landing clearance.
Roger, our minimum approach speed. If there will be still traffic at around 300 feet, we'll go around immediately.
And parking brakes coming on. APU wasn't running, forgot to turn that on. HD, no idea, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for stand Golf 10.
Wind 330 degrees, 18 knots, runway 27, clear to land.
Yeah, I was looking for a Golf 10. Obviously on the charts there is a Golf 10, but there we are. We'll just zoom in on your cup there, HD. Right, so what I'm going to do is just disconnect from VATSIM for now, and we'll just have a look at that landing replay because that was bumpy. So that's just got rid of everybody. Let's see if we can run the replay then. I'm going to try and do the replay without actually messing it up this time, because last night we tried that and it didn't work. So let's just close self-loading cargo down. Are those spoilers still out? Okay. There we are. Okay, let's see if we can get this to work. So, load the replay. Just give it a second for it to load the flight situation. Willie, I am monitoring it, trust me. The length of HD's debrief later is going to be a couple of bog rolls. So hopefully here comes the replay. We just have to wait for the airplane to load in. Okay, there's the ocean. Ready to fly. Now when using this, I think you have to click ready to fly before actually starting the playback, otherwise it doesn't work. So if we click ready to fly, hit the play button. Alright, so the aircraft is now flying, there's just no apparent aircraft there. Where's that gone? Oh, apparently I've just heard the sound of death and we've crashed the aircraft again. Oh, never mind. Mind you, we probably crashed the aircraft as we came in. It wasn't the greatest landing, was it? But never mind. Never mind. Eventually we got down. Didn't park in the right place. Yeah. What a horrible debrief I'm looking forward to later. Okay guys, so thank you very much for joining us on the live flight today. There is another live stream tonight, remember. That's only going to be a members only stream, and it will be looking at the new takeoff and landing performance calculator on the electronic flight bag, and we're going to have a look at some Navigraph charts and how we pop all the information into that to work that out. So looking forward to trying that with you later. It will be after a flight that our mod digital flight deck is doing this evening. So we're looking to start that at around 8:30 Zulu time tonight. So members do join us there. If you're not a member yet of the Easyjetsimpilot channel, then obviously you've got plenty of time to sign up before then, and I look forward to seeing you this evening. Big thanks to everyone in the chat. Big thanks to everybody who's flown along with us this afternoon. Big thank you to all of you that have liked the stream, and of course the subscribers, and a huge thanks of course goes to the donators and contributors to the channel, and of course the channel members. I look forward to seeing some of you again this evening, and then the next live stream shall be tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening will be the next live stream where we do another full flight, but I look forward to seeing some of the members tonight for a first look at the new electronic flight bag feature, the takeoff and landing performance check calculator. Alright guys, thanks very much. See you again soon. Bye bye.